to get into the border again.
Sort of quite a ways east and north from here.
So just leaving. Oh wow, it's so pretty. Look at it. Look at it go. Huh. It's so calm. Okay, I just got distracted by how pretty it was because the lake is like a mirror. But just leaving the hut, like a little later than intended, but it is what it is. Yeah, we had a really nice time. We hung out with 3 hikers that we've been hiking with for the last couple of days. Other couple of ladies kind of been leapfrogging us a little bit. They started a day before we did. And then, yeah, there's a little hut that sleeps 3. I slept in the hut with the 2 other ladies and everyone else slept in their tents. And this morning it's overcast. I think it might rain on us a little later this evening. Maybe it will hold off until we get to Tin Hat Hut. So we have a lot of climbing today. Some pretty intense elevation, I guess. And then we'll get to Tin Hat Hut. If everything goes to plan, we'll be able to actually get a shuttle from Tin Hat Hut to take us back to our car to Lund, drive to the southern terminus, and then we can do a bit of a flip-flop going from that end and kind of do as much as we can and then get our ferry back to Vancouver. So it'll be a bit of a mishmash, but we'll have completed about the first 100 kilometers or so and then kind of flip to the end and see if we can do another 20 or 30. Sometimes you got to be flexible on these through hikes. It's just the way it goes. Still a significant amount of snow above 800 meters. And a big chunk of the next section of trail is above 800 meters, so it would just slow our pace down to the point where we would not make our ferry back to Vancouver in time. So that's where we're at. I think this is Vista, but maybe not. It doesn't seem like I hiked far enough for that to be the case. I don't know. We spent, of course, the first 7 kilometers of today climbing, till we hit Confederation Hut. And then now we immediately go down. I know that's the point of hiking, but I hate losing all the elevation I just worked for when I know I have to go back up again today to Tin Hat Hut, which is going to be a beast of a climb. I've been hiking through an old growth forest most of the day, and it's incredibly beautiful, and also has a lot of dead trees across the trail, a lot of which has been dealt with by whoever maintains these trails. But it's still quite a bit of work to get up and over everything. So the kilometers are coming a little slower this morning than typical. But still beautiful. This is Vista. It's because it's such a big fat climb right before you get to the top. Can confirm, did not vomit. Yeah, this is pretty stunning out here. Look at that. See the whole valley. totally just bopping along in my own head, and I look down and there's a giant dead deer carcass. Scared the crap out of me. That was nasty. And just covered in flies. Yeah, terrible. Poor guy. I wonder what happened to him. Yikes.
Night is rocking her to sleep. Wind whispers in the trees.
Not sure if these movies are
Secrets
helpful.
are hard to keep. Sunset in golden fields.
Go from like beautiful thick forest, and then bam, quick cut right through there. Just giant swaths of trees missing. And then we come right against the edge of it. Okay, so just at the base of one of the biggest climbs, we're about to climb up to Tin Hat Hut. So it's about 6 kilometers, 800 meters or something, 1,000 meters. It's a decent climb. I'll fact check that at some point. Anyway, getting started. Let's go.
To end this fight.
It never looks as steep on video as it is. This is dumb. Whew.
Dark blue ocean in the sea. Waves are rocking.
Our very first tiny patch of snow. We're almost to the top of Tin Hat Mountain. That was a challenge. So I just finished the switchback portion, or like the really steep switchback portion of the climb to Tin Hat Hut. I think I only have like 1.5 kilometers left. This is the last water source. It is seasonal though, so the one 3 kilometers back is the one you have to rely on. But I don't. Aha. Anyway, it gets a little bit less steep from here, which will be nice. And then that's it. Then we're done for the day. Then I can lay down. And we're at kilometer 88, and the cabin is just ahead. We're almost there. Just when you think you're almost done, they hit you with this steep, rocky road. Awesome. Well, it turns out there is still quite a lot of snow up here. So I think I have about 1 kilometer of this. Whee! Animal prints here. In there. Look out for these while you're hiking. Don't want to fall through there. Check it out. There's the very top of the mountain. That's cool. Nice. So there is a lot of snow. You can see. Whee! Ugh. It's much easier to do this with 2 hands on my poles, but then you can't see. Whee! Ah! Yeah, it looks like straight up winter out here. See? Everywhere. Snow. Snow, 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 snow. As far as the eye can see. It's pretty though. Almost there. Not gonna lie, I could use some more blazes in this section. When everything is covered in snow, you can't see anything. And all of a sudden there's footprints going everywhere and no blazes. So, we'll see. But it could be a little better marked up here, for sure. The snow is very heavy and very wet. It really likes to just sort of collapse under your feet. So it's exhausting. Yeah, super fun. I love spending the last 2 miles trudging through deep, wet snow. Good times. It's a good thing it's pretty. I did it. I made it to the hut. It was so hard. It's terrible. Made it up to the hut. It is quite full. There were like 10 people sitting around a table inside here, so I came up to put my stuff somewhere so I have somewhere to sleep. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carla. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, guys.
Woo!
This is where we started. And then like just fresh pellets, like some other wood chip.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire.
Pretty long cold walk to the bathroom.
Every time you're away.
We woke up to a cold and stormy morning on Tin Hat Mountain. Everybody in the hut packed up their gear, filled their bellies with warm food, and headed out into the cold. We were able to get a little bit of service at the top of this mountain, so we made a new plan of attack. We contacted the Sunshine Coast Shuttle and arranged to have it pick us up at the south end of Lewis Lake. From Lewis Lake, the shuttle would take us into town, or we could figure it out from there.
We got something strong. And I saw you walking the line. And the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about.
Supposed to come in on.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way.
It does look like a trail. There's a little orange blaze over
And
there.
I saw you walking the line.
That's the direction. Somewhere that way.
May come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about. When it all breaks down, I'll wait for you right here. And I swear that we got nothing to fear. It's a miracle that you and I are finally here. I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about. The last one I think about.
Feels like a very quintessentially Pacific Northwest kind of day today. We're all clouded in and it's drizzling, so pretty standard. This portion of the trail has some serious deadfall and has been rerouted a couple of times, so it's actually almost 2.5 kilometers longer than the markers indicate. So just gonna have to keep a close eye on the blazes, and then remember that every kilometer is gonna be longer than you expect it to. it's very pretty in here. Yeah. This is our last water refill for the day, and then we're out of here. Cool trail. Super. It's Lewis Lake. But we get to walk most of the way around it. We get picked up at the southern point. If you want, because we've got to pick up our car there. There's a good spot, yeah. Pretty good, perfect timing.
So was it a good hike?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, we had a great time.
Did you come the long way?
We met the shuttle at the south end of Lewis Lake after about 10 kilometers of hiking from Tin Hat Hut. One thing to note about driving around up by the Sunshine Coast Trail is that most of it is logging roads that are still in use. So you actually need a radio tuned to the appropriate station so that you can communicate with the other drivers on the road. Our shuttle driver took us to Lund to pick up our car, and then we drove ourselves out to Powell River and got some lunch.
Kind of like Bon Appetit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After lunch, Ian and I drove out to Saltery Bay and found a campsite. Our plan was to hike the Saltery Bay Rainy Day Loop at the very end of the Sunshine Coast Trail, which is about 20 kilometers, while Terry was going to stay in Powell River and do a bit of exploring. We would meet up with him later on. Yeah. If you're hiking the Sunshine Coast Trail, you might notice some signs that read BOMB, or BOMB. This stands for the Burly Old Man Brigade, and it's a group of older men who help maintain the trail. I was lucky enough to run into one of these men earlier on in the journey and had a good chat with him about what they do and, why they do it. So shout out to the Bomb Squad and all the work that you do on this trail. I think it's really awesome.
Burly Old Man Brigade strikes again.
One of the most unique things about the Sunshine Coast Trail is the beautiful huts that are dotted along the trail. When I think about huts, my brain immediately goes to the huts on the Appalachian Trail, which are three-sided shelters with not much else going on. However, showing up on the Sunshine Coast Trail and seeing these beautiful structures that people have put together, I was blown away by the quality. Because of the quality of these shelters, it means you can use them year-round. Because they all have 4 walls and a door, a lot of them even have little stoves inside, you can comfortably stay warm here in the winter. Downstairs is usually a common space for gear and hanging out, while upstairs is a loft for sleeping. Each of the huts is located in a beautiful spot, usually with a great view. Not to mention that each of the huts has its own pit toilet and a bear box for safety.
We're on the last 8.5 kilometers of the Sunshine Coast Trail. So after the next couple hours, we'll be back in Saltery Bay. And then hop on the ferry and go home, more or less. And that's it. It's a nice day to end. It's like cool and cloudy. It's good hiking weather. And we're now on the home stretch. Just another like a half kilometer to the trailhead, and that's the end of it. Oh, just kidding. It's literally like 10 meters. It's right there. Look at it go. Look at it. Woohoo. Ta-da. And there we go. And that's the end. Okay. That was it. Just walking back to the car now. There's a ferry in the terminal. We're at Saltery Bay. And there's Ian catching up.
And that marks the end of our journey on the Sunshine Coast Trail. We went back to pick up Terry, filled our bellies full of pad thai, and jumped on our first ferry. Because it was a bit late in the day, we broke up our ferry journey into 2 pieces. So we found a campsite close to the ferry terminal for our next ferry in the morning.
With our car salads. Oh, jeez.
There we go.
Terrible. There we go. Hello.
Camping.
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 Yeah.
Oh, that was a video.
Lunch. Bowl of salad.
Listen to some country tunes
Exactly.
that just decided to turn on for some reason.
Ghost in the machine.
We grabbed a few groceries, made some salads, and then had a toothbrushing dance party. This was such a fun adventure. I would highly recommend trying out this hike. The trail is gorgeous, wonderfully maintained, the huts are really unique and beautiful, and you might just make some friends along the way.
It's our last night in here. And as you can hear, it's raining pretty loud.
So thank you so much for watching. That is the end of the Sunshine Coast Trail. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please make sure to leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more videos. I've just launched a brand new Patreon, so check the link below if you want to support this channel and get some exclusive behind the scenes content.